We're going to continue our look at composite figures, this time with reference to the perimeter of the shape and to the kind of detective work that you have to do to figure out the missing sides that you'll need in order to find the perimeter, or you might need to find even out the area of the shape. So let's look at this problem first. Billy Bob's lawn includes a triangle, a square, and a semicircle. How far will you have to go if you want to walk around the outside? That is a perimeter problem. We're not looking for the area, we're looking for the distance around the outside. And anytime you have the distance around the outside of something, that's perimeter. We don't have a formula that would let us find the perimeter of this shape, so we're going to have to divide it into some shapes that we know. It tells us that it's a triangle, a square, and a semicircle. So here we can put in some dashed lines that aren't really part of the composite figure to show us these divisions. Now we see the triangle, now we see the square, and now we see the semicircle. So let's go ahead and see what clues we have to figure out the missing sides. Well, unfortunately, the only clues we have are the measurements of the two lines at the bottom. Fortunately, we also have a right angle marker, which tells us that we'll be able to use the Pythagorean Theorem. We can label this side A, this side B, and this side C. Then we plug A and B into the Pythagorean Theorem, and we find out that C is equal to 25. The Pythagorean Theorem is one of the two major things that you'll use to find out missing sides. The other one is the idea that the opposite sides of rectangles are congruent. Here we know that this is a square. So now we can say, okay, if that's 25, this has to be 25. And in fact, if it's a square, we know that all four sides are 25. The square has four sides that are congruent or that have the same measurement. Okay, now the only one we're lacking is the semicircle. How do we find a semicircle? We have to use the formula for the circumference of a circle, but remember, it's going to be a semicircle, so we're going to have to divide it in two. The formula for circumference of a semicircle is that circumference equals twice times pi, or 2 pi r, twice times the diameter. But since it's a semicircle, we're going to have to divide it by 2. So go ahead and we'll plug the formula, and we'll plug 12.5 in, because we know the diameter is 25. We do the math, we get 39.25. So we know that this is 39.25. Now we have all of the measurements that we need around the composite figure to find the perimeter. The next step is to take these measurements and very carefully calculate the perimeter. To do that, you'll want to go around the figure, marking off each one as you put it down on a piece of paper, and only then adding it into your calculator. If you try to do this on a calculator, you could easily make a mistake and leave out, for example, one of the 25s. So let's start down here. All right, 15. We'll make that on our list. 20 is next. We'll put that on our list. 25. 39.25. And finally, one more 25 over here. We know now that we've gone all the way around because everything is marked, and we can simply add it up and get a total of 124.25 feet. Answer is, you'll have to walk 124 1/4 feet to get around the outside of Billy Bob's lawn.